By this point in the meeting, everyone was adequately focused on the subject matter. Half of everyone present was sweating, and a good quarter had started losing their voices. With most of the shouters out of the shouting match, there was finally a prospect of progress in the discussion. Never had a high-level conference of the Admiralty been this engaging. The moment of silence was aesthetically perfect, a real decoration to the minutes of shouting that had come before. The stenographers had frozen, looming over their mechanical typewriters, trying to keep their heavy breathing quiet. It was illegal. It was perhaps outside of his unwritten bounds. Illegal! He had no authority nor cause for any of that. None of it was explicitly against his orders or forbidden by them. To be fair, no set of orders in history has had to explicitly forbid most of what he pulled off. Yet, we've many examples of orders specifically requiring the presence of a musical element. When? In the 16th century? Absolutely. That's aside the context of the problem. And later, during World War II, you could call it a naval tradition. What the bloody hell are you two talking about? He was live-streaming the insides of his battlecraft to the entire system during combat. It was a video of an empty compartment. Nothing secret about bare metal walls. Oh, it wasn't empty. You know as well as I do it wasn't empty. I want to know how he snuck a piano aboard. Not just any piano. What? You have to understand, there are many types of pianos. He could have used an electric keyboard, just a plastic plank with keys. Really light. Oh no, he snuck in a full-size wooden concert grand piano. Back to the point. The point is that this was thought through. Premeditated treason is still treason. Then we'll have to execute all the accomplices to the treason too. They've all admitted they weren't ordered to do it. Most Shipman Gracias on the piano, Lieutenants Ivan and Javier on the violin and trumpet, Marshal of the ship Moorton on the accordion. You want to shoot 4 perfectly fine crew for running a 40-minute musical performance? During combat, broadcasting to the entire system on all channels without authorization, with equipment they smuggled aboard. Was the equipment in the ship's official inventory listing? Yes, although under creative names. Meaning? The piano in the onboard strategic reserve listings as a ancillary communications equipment block. Naturally. So not smuggled. As I'm sure we're about to very clearly hear, he had no authority to order a major rate recalibration on his Orion drive. And most of all, not for the sake of creating a beat for his fucking onboard boy band. The pulse rate in operation was in no way detrimental, no authority. The calibration was agreed upon and signed for by every engine engineer that worked on it. It was deemed safe and perfectly within the operational band of the drive. Calibration of the rate at which nuclear detonations are triggered to propel a kilometer-tall battlecraft. Calibrations like that happen for reasons. Good reasons. Needing pacing for an orchestra is not a good reason. It created a nice static overlay every beat, and that Orion drive is being considered a fifth musical instrument, like a drum. You know what is a good reason, Admiral Rook? Morale. I'd go as far to say that morale is a strategic reason. We are a serious organization, Admiral Yule. We fight wars. We're fighting one now. Now is not the time for childish stunts. Your 10-year-old sir would have called you a very boring adult. Actions have consequences. And the consequences of Captain Yulan's actions was that his ship was focused down by every opposing asset in the battle space. So isn't it fortunate that his was the only battleship we have, capable of dealing with the attention? On the subject of attention, I don't think it matters if what he did was legal or appropriate, or even sane. If we stake him now, or so much as express disapproval, we'll be dragged out to the Admiralty by the crowds and hung off the first bridge at dawn. Orion is untouchable in the eyes of the public because his fucking 5-instrument and nuke piston band is playing over every radio station in the system. And he's untouchable in the eyes of the fleet either, because he drew the fire of the entire enemy force. Projected losses given completely logical assignment of targets was 3 times higher. Hold up. Was it not in Captain Julian's orders to... Does someone have those orders? Here. Let's see here. Yes, okay, and I quote, use the survivability of your command to minimize damage and losses to other allied assets. You're saying that stunt was authorized by his orders? As far as I'm concerned, Admiral Rook? Admiral, what's wrong? Someone catch... Oh, fuck. He's having a heart attack. Unseal the conference room. Get medics in here. If an Admiral dies of shouting, it'll be an important lesson in history. Get the door open!